This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. The frequency's not in use, I can tell. If there any emergency or party traffic, time's up. If there was, or there is, please jump in there and say so. You really need help, call 911, but you can definitely reach us if you can't reach 911. Net may be broken at any time for that. For information on this net, you can go to YouTube right now, put my call, K4PEW. Don't worry about the my call, just the K4PEW in the search block, and it'll bring up my, I guess they call it Premiere. You can just see you'll see the screen here, which is the analog on my radio. Also, you can go to 146.415 and look up some Simplex information. You can also go to groups.io and sign up for our email system, which gives you all the reminders for the nets. It also gives you an opportunity, a place, I should say, to ask questions, or either about ham radio and technical information, etc. There's a lot of questions to be had in ham radio. A lot of questions to be answered too. Or you can send me an email at k4pew@arl.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night, and we begin with 2 meters, 146.415. That's 146.415 Simplex. Tonight we'll be doing 146.415 FM Simplex, and then we're going to move over to 144.240 upper sideband, and then we move over to 6 meters on 50.135 upper sideband, and then we go over to 223.415 FM. Let me move on here for a second. Purpose of the net is have fun. Figure out what you can hear, what you can't hear. Figure out how you can do better. We really, hams who do Simplex really do work hard, if they can afford to do it, to improve their stations so they can be better communicators. And if there's ever an opportunity that you need to be in an emergency, we hope there never will be one. But if there was never going to be any war, we wouldn't need a military either. You always have to be prepared. An old Boy Scout slogan: be prepared. As far as activities and announcements, we have, we just did one for the radio nets we're doing tonight. And this is Saturday night. Tomorrow night, there's a 10-meter net on 28.415 upper sideband, and it's handled by Michael, KM4YRF. He also goes over to 10 meters sideband on 29.415. On FM on 29.415. And then on to 223.415. So we have another 3 nets. Very diverse group. Diversity is our strength. It really is a strength in ham radio to operate in as many bands as possible and be efficient and get out as well as we do. Let's see what else. Does anybody have any other announcements like that? We did have a great breakfast this morning. I think there was 12 of us there, which was a good crowd. It's been a little bit, well, it's been good. Yeah, 12 or 13 is really very good. It was nice to see everybody there. Anybody have any other announcements? All righty. We'll go ahead. Where our non-net number? Oh, I wrote it down. I flipped the page. Hold on one second. I think it's 900. Hold on. I'm not going to wait for Michael to tell me. 914. That's what it is. We're on net number 914, and we're going to be starting from the east. But first of all, we're going to take check-ins from mobile and short on time. So mobile and short on time, please come in.
Comment, Paul.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, I think you've got your meter set to SWR.
For me, it is, yes, but not for you.
All right, well, it's going now. So.
Yeah, no, it's all, no, and whenever you, no, I'm on SWR. You're on signal strength. Everybody else is on signal strength, on receive.
Carry on.
All right. Anybody short on time or mobile, please come in. Wow, we don't have anybody. Well, then we'll start from the east. Please come in.
KM4YRS. Wow, from the breakfast.
Very good. Good to have you in there. Yeah, it was good to have you and your brother there this morning. Good to have everybody in there for that matter. It was fun.
Yeah, I know, and I've learned more about the Navy than I've ever known in my whole life.
Probably from your brother.
Could be.
No, he was in the real Navy, man, the aircraft carrier.
Oh well, I'm sure it had its fun times as well as some trying times.
Oh yeah, some also boring times. Let me tell you. Let's see, it's boring. Well, I think it was Churchill who said it, but he said that war, in this case, he was talking about war, though. He says it's hours and hours and hours of sheer boredom interrupted by moments of sheer terror.
Well, that sounds just about right to me. I don't guess I have anything further, so I'll let you get on with the call. Thanks for doing what you do.
Very good. That was Michael, Kilo Mike 4 Yankee, Romeo Foxtrot from here in Mount Juliet. Who else is east?
KK5S.
KK5S. What's up, Gary? Good to see you this morning.
Oh, nothing much going on. Came home trying to beat the rain, and the rain held off longer than I had thought it to. But at least got the grass cut today. But yep, nothing major going on today.
Yeah, it's just been all day. What did I say? All day. Most of the afternoon and evening, it was just sprinkling the whole time. Never rained hard.
I mean, the weather forecast had said it was supposed to start raining about noon, and so I jumped in here and cut, the grass cut and held up on the other stuff I was going to do because it's like, well, it'll start raining here in a few minutes, and it did sprinkled a little bit one time here, maybe about 2 o'clock, and then didn't do anything till about 6. Of course, the weather radio had gone off a couple of times, but we didn't see anything out here.
Huh. Yeah, we had all day. It's been kind of real light sprinkle, nothing serious, just a little bit of spritz in here and there. No, it's all good. I know that's now and it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, but then slacking off for a couple of days. So you're going to get the chance to mow it again next week.
I had to get in here a while ago and put the antennas back up because I'd had them disconnected from earlier this week and one of the storms came through with all lightning. But yeah, other than that, I didn't do anything. Good to see everybody this morning. I think we had a really good turnout at the breakfast and some enjoyable conversations as usual. And we hate to see some of our folks go, and Chris will definitely be missed. And we're just glad to have him join us at least one last time there before he leaves us.
We might not let him go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah, no, it's always good. But again, there's always some attrition in people because they move on to other places or they. Well, I don't know if anybody's gotten out of ham radio, but there's a couple of guys that are so far out there, they can't barely get in.
Roger that. But anyhow, I'll get out of the way and let you continue on. You got a big night ahead of you here, and we will catch you a little bit later at Kilo 5 Sierra Clear.
Yeah, very good. That was Kerry, and he's in Baird's Mill. Good signal of Kilo 5 Sierra. Who else is east?
KGP Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael in Lebanon.
All right, Kilo Alpha 5. Hold on one second there, Michael. I had KG4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. It's just in before. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, Paul. Yeah, I thought I seen a signal come up as soon as I was keying down, so I stopped there. But doing good. How are you?
Nah, pretty good. Didn't do squat today, except get aggravated. Do you ever try to make reservations online and you're trying to figure out what the best deal is, like for a hotel? Drives you crazy.
Yeah, we just did that. Actually, that's funny that you mentioned that. And my parents are going to it, and they're asking for my help. So it's like, this concerted effort to try to find a place that's going to be fitting for the right price. Yeah, it can be a pain.
Well, I still rail against all website developers that seem to think that everything they build is intuitive, and it's not.
Yeah, that's true. And some of the app developers too. Some of the apps can be kind of a burden to use when doing reservations and things.
Well, I did one when it said, "Do you want to add this to a wallet?" It was for a thing, one of those gift cards I got. And I sat there and stared at it, and I don't remember ever using a wallet because it showed Google, and then it said wallet, just wallet, and I was like, so I didn't have to do anything with it. I asked my wife, I says, what does that mean? She goes, well, you can put it in a wallet and then use it later. I go, But if you've never done that before, how would I know?
Yeah, I think it offers it to you. It's kind of odd like that. I don't know that I use Google Wallet, but it does keep my credit card information because I use the browser. So,
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. There's a function to it, but if you have a website that just says, doesn't even mention Google, it just says wallet. You want to put this in your wallet. I go, well, kind of hard to put in my wallet. It's on the screen. My wallet's in my pants. No, in other words, it presumes everyone knows what they're talking about, and that's rarely true.
yeah, it's assuming you understand that it's going into a digital wallet of said origin or whatever. Yeah, that's true. It's kind of slipstreamed in there. It can kind of be odd like that. I try not to save any of that stuff if I can. I just put it in one time and do it.
Well, my wife bugs me about this. Don't you have better protection? I go, look, the bank I use guarantees me that I will take no losses due to fraud. So I don't care.
Yeah, I've had some issues with the bank cards, the debit card being the number picked up, which is crazy. But stopped that, and it was quick and easy.
I did. I had one a couple of years ago. All of a sudden, I noticed on my, I guess it was my debit card, I think, and I don't remember being in Texas and buying stuff over there. So it was for Walmart stuff. I called Walmart. I go, well, hey guys, that's not my purchase. They got rid of it, and I think the people, at least I don't know if they were arrested, but they were charged.
Yeah, these were pending transactions in places that I definitely didn't purchase things, and they canceled the card and sent me a new one. But it's odd that it's becoming more frequent, which is a little concerning. That was not anything that I'd say that I've ever experienced before.
Well, the Russians need more money for the war, man.
Yeah, and I guess these numbers are easier to swipe these days. Anyway, that's a whole other rabbit hole there of odd technology. But
Oh yeah, no, it's quite stunning when you consider. That's what cracked me up about this whole issue with the Zuckerberg coming up with a new Twitter-like application on the web, and you go, and he's already got 3 billion users on Facebook, and it's presumably on Instagram. I think 3 billion users. Man, just give each of those people, give me a penny a day, man. It doesn't take long to get wealthy.
well, I guess you can say that he can't get enough data. He just needs more data.
No, it's astounding, really, when you consider that it didn't used to be this way at all. Nothing. Nothing. There was nothing like this whatsoever on the planet. And all of a sudden, we've got these data consolidators, and they could look. My gosh, no one is invisible. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things you just have to accept. It's an unfortunate thing of technology.
Yeah. Anyway, let me get rolling. Anything else for the net there, Chris?
No, I think we covered enough. 73, Paul.
Very good. That was Chris in Rural Hill. I heard Michael K. It's a Kilo Alpha 5. Do I have that right?
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Oh, whiskey. I'm sorry. I heard it right and I wrote it wrong. How you doing, Michael?
I'm doing pretty good, but I want to have to disagree with old Winston Churchill. Apparently, he never worked the flight deck. Up there, if you get bored, your next stop is going to be medical or the morgue.
Oh, yeah, the flight deck. We were mentioning, I mentioned that this morning to Rick, who was on an aircraft carrier, and I said, from everything I've ever seen, and we operated behind some carriers, it's the most dangerous place in the Navy's on top of a flight deck.
I'd have to agree. I worked up there several years, and like I said, if you don't concentrate on everything that's going on around you, then you're probably going to get a medical visit.
Yeah, I know. Man, I watch those guys, in time over time. You see them on videos and stuff, and you go, yeah, here we are. What are they standing? 20 feet from a jet that's taken off? Yeah, that's not dangerous. And they're carrying bombs and missiles. Nah, that's no problem.
Well, that's one thing about it. And the strange thing is, if you're on a 6-month cruise, during the cruise, you have no problem because everybody's usually in a well-timed ballet. The problem is when you start doing workups for the cruise, everybody's new and junior, and your pilots are usually junior crews. That's when it gets dangerous.
Yeah, I can understand that. Sure, but just they're not operating very well in concert.
Oh, yes. I can't tell you the amount of times that an F-14 has turned its exhaust on me.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun.
It can get real warm real quick.
Oh, wow. No, you remember seeing those videos oh gosh, and I forget which carrier it was when one of the rockets took off and smashed into some other jets, and that created a whole havoc.
I've seen the forest fall more times than I can count.
It's amazing. And then of course the broken cables, whatever they call those, and the catapult, not the catapult, but the cables that catch the planes when those break. That's cool.
Yeah, the arresting wire, that's when one of those breaks, like I say, it clears the deck of anything that comes through its path because it's about 3 inches in diameter. So we don't care where it goes.
No, and I've seen videos of that where it actually it knocks people right off the day, and I think it breaks or cuts off their feet or at the shins, whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's if you're lucky. If it comes across your midsection, like I said, you're probably going straight to the morgue than you are the medical.
Yeah, the one video I remember seeing, the guy saw it coming because he had his eyes open, obviously, and he jumped up and missed. He had to jump twice, once on the way over and once on the way back.
Yeah, like I say, it kind of hairy real quick up there. Like I said, the people that I've known that weren't exactly with it, like I said, they didn't turn out well.
Well, I think that's true in all, I'll just say potentially dangerous situations. And it doesn't have to, I mean, even in, just routine military operations, you better have your head up all the time. I mean, because bad things can happen.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like I say, I've never been in an actual shooting war, but all the injuries and deaths that I saw were during peacetime, and there was no enemy anywhere close. People die because military, even the moving of military, is a dangerous thing to do.
Oh yeah, no, I've told people who have never been in the military. I said, well, they go, well, they're just in the military. There's nothing going on. I go, the military is inherently dangerous. They're carrying guns, their weapons, missiles, rocket launchers. They're practicing with all of these things, and the ships are driving around with tens and hundreds of thousands of gallons of jet fuel, and it's not exact. And also, what do you call it? The gas turbine fuel, whatever that, the JP5 or whatever they're operating with. And you go, it's inherently a big bomb you're riding around on the ship or even in a tank, whatever.
Almost definitely. Well, JP4 and JP5 were not quite as dangerous as avgas. Avgas is 132 octane, and so it could light up in a heartbeat. Just a spark a quarter mile away can set it off.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. I didn't know there was that dramatic a difference between the avgas and JP4 and 5.
Yeah, JP4 and 5 were actually a very clean burning kerosene. And that's the reason they got away from avgas, because it was so flammable and was so dangerous that when they went into jet aircraft, then they went to the JP4, JP5, and I think now they're doing JP6.
Well, when they, not to extend this too far, but when they changed over some of the older ships to Navy distillate, was that the JP4 and 5?
Well, I remember when they started out with JP4, but most of my career was on JP5. As they say, that that was your jet aircraft because the ignition temperatures were much higher and they burned much safer.
Well, that was one of the big advantages, and I'll leave it at this. When we were burning Bunker C on the old destroyer, in fact, all the ships were burning, except the diesels, of course, but they were all burning Bunker C, and you could drop a lit match or a cigarette into it and it wouldn't do anything.
Very true. And I think most of the ships now have the when we used to do replenishments, we would pump over JP4, JP5 to other ships. So I figured they had to use it not just for their helicopters, but for other functions on the ship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was for, if they were gas turbines, that's what they were burning, I think.
I know that was, like I said, that was the thing. Underway replenishments, we always pumped over, to all the tenders and things like that. There's the JP4 and JP5, and, so that they could run. And we were just a floating gas station at that particular point in time.
Yeah, I remember early on, and I'll leave it at this. I remember reading about the Enterprise. Of course, I was on a little destroyer. And I remember reading it carried, I think, and it's been a long time since I read that statistic, but it says it carried 1 million gallons of avgas. I was like, seriously, 1 million gallons?
Yeah, that sounds like a lot. That was very dangerous to me. I worked on one aircraft that had avgas, and a lot of people would siphon off about a pint of it to put in their gas station so it would clean the engine. But anything more than that, you're probably going to pitch your valves and pitch your pistons.
Oh, wow. Well, very good. Anything else for the night? When are you going to get over to a breakfast?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm going to maybe try over one of these days, but especially when we kick around some Navy stories. But other than that, everything's going okay. I'd just like to see this rain move on out, get back to some dry weather. But I'll let you get back to it, Paul. Appreciate talking to you and hanging up the Navy stories. You have a good evening. 73 to you.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's supposed to rain. If you look at that forecast, it's supposed to rain like after a couple of days, like Monday, Tuesday. I think it's supposed to rain Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, at least like a 25 to 50% chance of rain. So you better mow your lawn. It's first opportunity it gets dry. Anyway, that was Michael in Lebanon. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa. Who else is east or, yeah, east?
Yeah, 4SIPK, 4SOR, good evening, Paul.
Hey, Richard, what's up? You sound a little weak. Where are you?
Say that again, I can't wait.
You sound a little weak. Where are you?
I'm in the house. I hope I'm not sounding weak, but nothing's impossible. I mean, I'm here.
No, you sound noisy. Noisier than normal. It's got a lot of hash in it.
Well, I've got something in my atmosphere up here that's causing me to have a signal on me that may be picking up on my carrier and throwing it at you. I don't know. I can't really tell.
All right. Well, very good. You sound good. I got full copy on you. Just a little rough.
Well, I hope everybody's doing well and having a good day and stayed out of the rain. But I ain't got nothing special going on. Just sitting there in bed doing that. Y'all can't hear on 73. Everybody that can hear my ugly voice. Yeah, for everybody that's your name. That's free.
Very good. That's Richard and his bride, Stephanie, KI4SIB and KI4SOR in Lebanon. Who else is east or north? Yeah, there must be something going on, Wes, because you're real noisy tonight, too.
I don't know, low power. Richard sounds fine to me. The station before that, I forget his name, RIP. He must be close because he was well over his time. But yeah, kind of a rainy, nasty night. Everything is good in Possum Town, which is the closest geographic political location I can get to KU4TW.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, you sound good with full power. Everything else going well, Wes?
Yep. By the way, you mentioned Monday and Tuesday being dry. I got some tower sections that got to go up. So what you're saying is I should get on top of it. Noted. KU4TW.
Yeah, check out the weather service. I look at Weather Underground, but it did show the forecast for I want to say Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was all going to be big chances of rain. So I don't know. They also said that windstorm we had last week was going to be 10 to 20 mile an hour winds, and that was way wrong.
Yeah, I lost some wind for that. All right, carry on. KE4TWI.
Very good. That's Wes, and the closest landmark would be Possum Town, and that's KE4TWI. Who else is north?
WB4E.
There was a second station in there, but I didn't catch it. So Whiskey Echo 4 Echo. How you doing, Danny? It's let's see. Last time you made 2 nets in a row, maybe.
No, I wish it was 2 nets in a row, but no. I'm tempted to say long-time listener, first-time caller, but yeah, it's been a hot minute.
No, it's all right. You know us. We're just happy to hear anybody on the air. I was. It just wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? We don't, as you know, we don't make a big deal of it.
Yeah, no worries. Well, it's a good thing because I've been MIA for a while. It's a rare Saturday night where I'm actually sitting still at 8 o'clock. So I decided it was about time I got my sorry butt in here.
Hey, I forget how old your daughter is. How's she doing?
I got one that's 20 and a half, and another one's going to be 23 in a month. They're both doing well.
Are they both going to school?
The older daughter is kind of. She's up in Richmond, Kentucky. She works full-time as an EMT and is taking some classes. She's going to go for a advanced EMT program here this fall and just sort of raise her skill level. The company she works, or the county that she works for, is adding AEMT protocols, and so she wants to be kind of first in line for that. And my other daughter was studying criminal justice at MTSU. That didn't pan out. It just was not a good environment, a good experience for her, and she ended up bailing out, coming home. So she's just trying to get things figured out. She's been talking to Sumner County Sheriff's Office about doing something with them. I think she thinks she wants to go into something related to law enforcement or criminal justice or something. So, but they're both in good health, both doing real well. My daughter from Kentucky was actually here briefly earlier today. She came in with some friends to go to a show at the Ryman, and they went back home today. So I got to see her, which was a treat.
Yeah, the criminal justice programs I was familiar with, they actually are almost too generic to provide you with any real working knowledge that you take out into a sheriff's department or police department.
Well, and I think the environment in MTSU just did not agree with her. And after going down there to help her kind of pack up and move home and whatever, it was I could see how it would be a bit of a depressing environment in her, where she was, the dorm she was in, and where she was located, and what was around and everything. So that's the part of it. There was that aspect of it that she just couldn't deal with. And yeah, you're right. I think it's like a lot of college degree programs. They give you enough basis to go out and convince somebody to hire you and teach you what you need to know. So she's talked about police academy when she turns 21. I know she's talking to the sheriff's office. She's, she kind of looked into TSA briefly. So I think she's still trying to get it figured out, but she'll get it there.
Yeah, my wife asked me, "Did you ever think about being a cop, sheriff?" I go, "No, I did shore patrol in the Navy, and that convinced me I didn't want to wrestle drunks."
Yeah, it was a real good friend of mine, old biker dude that I used to know back when I lived in Missouri. He was Air Force. Well, he did 6 years in the Marines, got out and re-upped in the Air Force, and did 20-some years with them. But that was one of his. He was combat marksman, but he was also an MP, and he told all kinds of stories about having to fish drunk airmen out of a bar and chuck them up to the back of an APC and drag him to the brig.
Yeah, sometimes I'll tell you about my silly experiences overseas in shore patrol. It was never fun. It was like, oh no, don't ask me to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure you'd better go peel potatoes and do that.
Well, quickly said, we were in Hong Kong getting ready to leave, and the ship next to our sister ship, they said, well, somebody didn't report back from shore leave, and last night. And we were picking up and leaving, and it's really they do not like, they don't like to leave a man behind, and if they do, he's in deep weeds. And so the last known location was in a house of ill repute, and they knew where it was, and they sent me and this other guy. We had to take a motor whaleboat over to the shore. They put us in an Army Jeep or whatever it was, I don't remember, Navy Jeep, and we went to this place and had to drag this guy out in his underwear and bring him back.
Yeah, they don't pay enough to have to go do that.
No, it was my memory's mostly blurred with that, because it was like, why me?
Well, I guess everybody has their day in the barrel.
Oh no, it was I don't know, it's character building. Okay, that's what they always tell me.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Anyway, everything else going well in the HF world for you?
Yeah, I don't get on much anywhere anymore, just because life has predicated that. But I do a little 160. I do a little 75. Caught a 6-meter opening briefly last weekend. I made a couple of contacts up in the in the Fox Nancy grids, and I think I got there just as the bottom was falling out of it, because I made a call. I called CQ. I got 3 responses on the very first CQ, so there were people sitting there listening. And I had a nice QSO with one guy, moved on to the next guy, and he was right down there in the fuzz. And the third guy, I could tell he was in there, and I threw everything my radio had at it, and I couldn't fish him out of the weeds. So I think the bottom fell out about the time I got there, but they were all 100 watts in a dipole, And, I'm sitting here with a kilowatt and 4-element mono bander, so I think they heard me pretty well. But the imbalance was not good. I just couldn't find them. But that's about it, really. I work more HF out of my truck than I do here at the house.
Oh yeah. Well, it's I don't know. I was surprised on that last. I mean, you may have seen it, that ARRL propagation report that said they're suggesting that this may be the strongest solar cycle in decades.
Well, they can't make up their dang minds, because 3 years ago they were whining and complaining because this was going to be the next Maunder minimum, and we weren't going to have a solar peak, and the bands were going to be dead for 10 years, and blah blah blah. And now all of a sudden, over the last a year, they've all spun around and changed their tunes about how quickly this is ramping up. And now they're saying, well, this one's just going to peak early and then fade early, and we're going to have a longer, wider low period toward the 11-year bottom. They can't make up their minds.
Well, I think I'll paraphrase Mark Twain. Everybody talks about propagation, but nobody ever does anything about it.
Yeah, exactly. So, low bands have been hit and miss. I was on 75 night before last, and except for a little twinkle of static crashes, and so the propagation was good. And I can't say that has been the case for the last 3 or 4 months. I do know I worked some 10 meters back in the spring, somewhere around the equinox. It was blistering hot, but now over the summer it's kind of fizzled. Although New Zealand was in here late last night like a boss. So I think every day's a new day, and it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. Just ride it.
Well, you're saying how late in the day was New Zealand? Because I normally caught those areas, not necessarily all the time, but or later after midnight.
Well, it was probably 10:30, 11 o'clock last night.
Oh wow, that shows some promise.
Oh yeah. And I piddled around with a little FT8. I'm not a big fan of it, but I put that on once in a while and then watch PSK Reporter and see what hears me. That's the fun part of FT8 for me. But it's been pretty trivial to get Australia, New Zealand, and parts nearby. I've got a couple of islands out in the middle of nowhere out there and stuff. But yeah, I mean it's been kind of hit and miss. I work a lot of 20 out of the truck when I'm driving. I chase a lot of POTA stations and stuff. Those are easy to do. I will tell you one story, and then I'm going to turn it back. I've had my minute. I was driving up to see my daughter up in Kentucky. It's up south of Lexington, and I'm kind of spinning around, and there was some QSO party going on. Anyway, I tuned up to 15 just to see what's going on, and I work a couple QSO party stations. They're not super strong, but band's open, so I tune up a couple of dozen KC up away, and I put out some CQs. On the third one, the station calls me from Germany, and we probably talked for 40 minutes, and he was S9 the whole time, and we just had the best conversation. If I was going to expect a reply on 15 meters out of my truck, Germany would not have been up the top of the list. That was fun.
Yeah, that's amazing when that happens. It really is, because mobile just does. It doesn't. We got the best antenna. It's not the best conditions.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you this much too: is last spring. Was it last spring? Last April, like a year ago. I was up fairly early on a Saturday morning. I was going to do some mains here. I had to go pick up a piece of rental equipment. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. I got Australia on 20 meters out of the truck, and he had a pretty good pilot going. And I think I just had the timing, because usually when I'm operating mobile, I try to time my call so that the other end hears me say mobile, because a lot of times they'll go, hey, wait, who's the mobile station? And that's what happened. Got him on the second call. We had a real nice chat. He was strong, but that was one of those kind of near the equinox in the morning kind of thing. So that was kind of cool.
What you do is you say mobile, and you learn to say it in a soprano voice.
Oh yeah, get the 3 dB gain of a female voice.
There you go. You'll think it's a mobile female, which is very unusual.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, I could identify. You know, we could do like I could identify as mobile.
Don't get me started. I don't know if you saw on the front end of on the net I wrote what the description was, and it says that they tell me that diversity is a strength, and it certainly is among our group, since we're on 2 meters, 70 centimeters, upper sideband on 2 meters, upper sideband on 6, 10, FM on 10, 223 DMR, etc. So diversity is a strength, but only under some things.
Well, and if you have a diversity receiver, so there you go.
Yeah, very good. All right, very good. Good to have you in there, Danny. Probably need to move along. That was Whiskey Echo 4 Echo. He's over in Hendersonville. Who else is north? Hey, good to hear from you, Steve. How you doing? Oh yeah, you sound. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I'm on the deficient antenna, and that's partly the reason. My new X700 is coming in hopefully this next week. Yeah, very good. You've got a good signal. Are you using the 5-element beam? Okay, very good. Yep. Yeah, it's not a great signal, but it's a full copy. It's probably about S1. I wasn't even looking at the meter because I rarely do. If I can hear anybody, I don't worry about signal strength. It doesn't matter to me. But no, you sound great. I mean, I'm glad. How's the nets going? Yeah, you're just bumping the meter here. Well, let me rule out right around. Steve, I appreciate you calling in. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Are you guys doing Hamfest this year?
Not as far as I know.
Oh man, what happened to that? All right. Well, I was looking for an opportunity to get up and see you again. All right. Very good, Steve. That was Steve. He's in a little north of Bowling Green, 65 miles north of me. That's Kilo 4 Whiskey, Kilo Uniform. I'm sorry, Kilo 4 Whiskey, Kilo Uniform. And not a great signal, but a full copy. Anybody else copying, Steve?
I did. He was S7 to me.
I'll be for the very first time.
I got it over here, ball.
Oh, awesome. So a lot of people are copying you, Steve. That's so the conditions are good for some people better than me. So anyway, good to have you in it. Who else is north?
WB0 NO, and I heard him too.
Yeah, no, it's just funny how, well, if I had a better antenna, my Max 700 was working, but I'd probably hear him a lot better. But with a 6.1 dBi gain versus a 9.3, there's quite a difference.
Yeah, yes it is. About half.
Yeah. Anyway, but I can hear him. I'm happy. Well, how are you doing, Mark?
Doing well. Slept through breakfast this morning, but I had good intentions.
Well, yeah, the road to, what is it, Hades, hell, is paved with that.
Yeah, I guess it is. All right. Well, I don't really have anything for the net, so I'll be listening. Have a good evening. WB0 NO.
Well, you've got a real nice, clean audio. Make you feel better. That was Whiskey Bravo 0 November, Oscar. That's Mark, and he's up in northwest Wilson County. So he's not too far from me, so almost anybody can have a good signal. But his sounds particularly clean and neat. Who else is north?
KB9RKK.
So does yours. Always a nice, strong signal, but again, relatively close.
Yeah, well, you guys. Now I have a lot of strong signals with Mike moving here, and yeah, he was coming in good to me, Steve, from Kentucky, big time.
Oh yeah, now his wasn't that great to me, but again, I got my antenna's a little weak up there. So, but anyway, how's it going for you?
Doing good. Doing good. Yeah. Nothing to complain about.
I can't believe Bowling Green's given up they're not doing a Ham Fest this year.
Yeah, I heard that. You know, I don't know. That's weird. That was one of the first ones I went to after moving down here, so it's like weird.
Well, I just like the opportunity to go up there. I like that area.
Yeah, it gives me an excuse to go up there and do some other things. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a pity. Anything else with that, Frank?
Negative. Nothing. You know, we got our hits. You know, our ham quest is coming up down our club, but other than that, nothing.
Is that setup going okay?
Yeah, Michael's got it all, handled, I guess. So it's a week earlier than it used to be. It's going to be inside the indoor building now.
And what was the dates on it? Just so I'll put it. I need to tell people now to not go on vacation that week and stay home.
Yeah, it's basically the 22nd.
Okay, very good. The 22nd of July, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's moved up a week because the fair board, from what I understand, the state fair wanted to take possession of it, and they negotiated, and because they already had a contract on it, so they moved it to the 22nd. So that way, because they wanted it on the 15th, and we wanted to do the 29th, so we kind of met in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Ham Club has a whole lot of leverage with the board of the fair.
No, but there is such a thing as first come, first serve. But then money always wins.
Oh yeah, no, I always look forward to that every year too. And those are only really was Bowling Green and the Wilson County Club's event, and then of course the one down in Alabama. Those are the three biggies for me.
Yeah. Huntsville I haven't done in a couple of years. Kind of ever since the whole COVID thing, I kind of threw a monkey wrench in a bunch of stuff, and I kind of stopped going. But I'll eventually make it down there to the big one. And usually those are the only three that I do, like you were saying. But I guess we lost the one up north then.
Yeah, that's too bad. It really is too bad. Of course, I think they already went by on the one that was at Cave City, didn't they?
I didn't keep track of it. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else can answer that.
Nobody. I think I did go by because I was thinking about going, but then to drive up there for a small ham fest isn't exactly fun. Anyway, that was Frank, Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo, Kilo. He's in Northwest Mount Juliet. Who else is north or west?
KO4 OTB.
Another strong signal from west to Ashland City. How you doing there, Joel?
I'm good. You're real loud here tonight. I figured you had a new antenna or something.
No, I'm identifying as having a bigger antenna.
It's probably the rain. It's been raining up here for, I don't know, 5-6 hours now. I'm going to say we probably got 3 inches, man. It's pretty crazy how much it's rained, and it's still raining.
Well, it's not such a bad thing. We always need the water.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining. I was just surprised that it hasn't stopped yet.
Well, it's been drizzling here all day. It's never been heavy rain, just drizzling, just minor, not much. Just a sprinkle all day long. Well, not all day long, since lunch.
Well, here it's been rather hot and sunny until about 3 o'clock. And when it came, I mean, it hasn't stopped since. It's been kind of refreshing in a sense, but I wish I had mowed the grass before it did it.
Yeah, I hate to go out there and mow when it's wet. I think everybody does that. But it makes for a great excuse, though.
Yeah, I may do it in the middle of the week because it's so wet now. I'd probably get stuck in the yard.
Yeah, I think I convinced my wife one time that I went out and took my moisture indicator and said, no, it's not quite dry enough for me to mow.
Yeah, I mean, there's days I get so sick of doing it. I mean, when you start mowing in like early March like I do, it seems like you do it every week, if not twice a week. After a while, you just, it's hard to skip every now and then.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. I know I got to keep up with the neighbors around it. They keep up. A couple of them have, no, 2, 3. At least 3 of them have lawn service around me, and I refuse to do that.
I don't blame you. I don't have that problem. Luckily, I don't really have any neighbors. Well, I mean, I do. Our yards just don't meet up together, so it kind of makes it a little nice. I don't have to keep up with the Joneses at all.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Anything else for the net, Joel?
No, that's it for me tonight, Paul. KO4 OTB.
All right, that was Joel, West Ashland City, Kilo Oscar 4, Oscar Tango Victor. Anybody else west?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Hello. Yeah, conditions sound really good today, don't they?
Yeah, like I said, that's I think the first time I've heard Bowling Green and he's clear tonight.
Huh. That's interesting because he wasn't that clear to me, but obviously the paths to some other people were better than me.
Yeah, I pulled up the VA propagation map and no blob.
There's got to be a better technical word than blobs.
Well, and I thought that was.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know what else you'd call it. I call it the same thing.
And I don't see a legend, even though I'm sure I can decipher it, but I don't see a legend on the colors.
That was the other thing. Oh, I was going to say on the net, that guy I talked to over in Houston a couple of days ago after the other net, and he had just recently gotten back into ham radio within the last, I'm going to say 6 months or a year, and he's saying, yeah, and I said, well, you was talking about not understanding what's a good, what good propagation is, and he goes, it's a little, it's like mystery, and I go, well, you use PSK Reporter. He goes, what's that? I go, man, you got to look at PSK Reporter because that'll tell you where people are making QSOs and what's hot for that, for that hour.
Yeah, too digital, too computerized for me.
Well, it's a good service though. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's kind of like that APRS one you're talking about.
Yeah, I've never actually messed with it. I have looked at APRS before, but I've never done PSK.
No. It's just a PSK Reporter. It just tells you which stations are contacting which stations. It so gives you a clue, and you can pick any of the modes, whether it's CW or sideband or FM or any of the digital modes, any of the PSK mode, any of those, and it tells you where the contacts are being made. You can select which ones, which bands, and which ones.
Oh yeah, I understand that.
Anyway, so it gives you a complete. If you don't care about digital, you can check for anything you want to, but it at least will tell you. Which, what's open where.
Very cool. Well, maybe we'll hear something on 6 meters.
Maybe. Anything else for the net there, Greg?
Nope. See you on the next one, KD4C.
Very good. And we were talking about your breakfast this morning, but knowing you hate people, I'm not going to tell you what we said.
Well, I keep coming, but I'm apparently coming on the off week.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, no, we had a good turnout this morning. You would have liked it. Maybe you would have hated it. The more people would be more problems for you.
Well, like I say, maybe I'll get the right weekend straight someday.
All right, very good. That was Greg at Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
GG4 ILV Jack and Donaldson.
See, we're not people though, Jack. That's the problem.
I was gonna ask Greg if his ears were burning this morning.
Oh yeah, no, it's the best part about ham radio isn't just meeting people you wouldn't normally meet, which we do. It's also a very eclectic group. It's like none of us, even when we have a common interest, none of us are anywhere near the same.
Yeah, it was good to see you Wednesday breakfast this morning, and it was good to see a couple of new faces to me.
Oh yeah. I've met both of those fellows before, but I for the life of me I couldn't remember their names because it's been so long.
Well, just glad they were there, and I heard Steve S9. He was sounded perfect. He sounded like he was right there with Mount Juliet.
Oh wow, that's awesome. No, that's good, and that's like I said, if this stuff were easy, women and children would be doing it.
All right, thanks for doing that. I'll see you on the next one, KG4 ILB.
All right, that was Jack. Kilo Go 4 India Lima Victor Ian Donaldson. Who else is west?
N8NUT.
Hey, two nets. Well, not two nets in a row, but I've heard you twice this evening already. How you doing, Carl?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good.
Very good. You finding the conditions good tonight?
Yeah, seems like it's going well.
Yeah, you sound great from Franklin. You really do. Before I had this antenna, when Tom was living over in Franklin, It was actually terrible with a lesser antenna for the same elevation I'm at right now. And we were talking in the afternoon as the sun set, his signal just died out of Franklin.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, Tom was a little less elevation than me with a smaller antenna.
Oh, that's why you deported him down there to Alabama.
Yeah, that's right. So I think he finally got the 700.
It's like a disease, you know. Ham radio is a disease. You know, everybody wants the better antenna. They keep working towards that, even if it's not a better antenna.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what I tell people. You know, my favorite antenna is the one that somebody told me it works great. No matter what it is, he says, if it works great, man, I think I ought to get one of them.
That's right. They make it sound so good. You gotta have one.
No, it's really fun. Anything else for the net? It was good to hear from you tonight, Carl.
No, sir. Thanks for doing the net. We'll talk to you later. NADNUT.
Very good. That was Carl in Franklin at November 8, November Uniform Tango. Anybody else west? Or north? No, where was I going? Going around. So we started. Where did we start? I think it was west. How about south? Hey, you missed the digital net there. I think your name was saying Tony. You missed the digital net.
Well, you missed my name, so no, I was sitting over here under a big boomer, and unless you're going to buy me a new radio, I don't talk when there's big thunder boomers.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, you were missed over there in the DMR net. At least I was missed by me because I'm the only one that can hear you.
There you go.
Everything else going okay?
Everything is good.
Now, what happens when it's that people say they can multitask. Technically, most people cannot ever do that. You can't think of two things simultaneously, and you really can't do. Most people, and I'm one of those most people. So I was writing down your call, and as soon as I was writing in the middle of it, I'm like, "Your name is what?" it puts a block in my head. You know?
Well, there's medication for that.
Yeah, I think I'm taking too much. That's the trouble. I gotta cut it back.
There you go. Anyway, that's it. Q4QQ.
Very good. That's Tony. He's in Smyrna. Kilo Foxtrot 4, Kilo Foxtrot Quebec. Who else is south?
Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hey, appreciate you hanging in there, Larry. Everything else going okay?
Yes, always done good. Let you get on with man.
Very good. That's in Rockville. That's Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor. Well, Larry does the D-Star net on Saturday nights at 7:15, and he does a fine job of it. Who else is south? South or anywhere since we started with east? We're going for the lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, laggards, slackers. Let's see what else we got. Flat earthers, SDR donglers, HTers. What else? We got nothing. Nobody else? We're going to move right over to 144, 240 if we don't hear something. That's a threat. All righty, that's where we're going. I don't have the number here. Hold on one second. All right, we had 18 in there tonight. We had 16 the other day, so we're up by 2. The percentage would be 2 of 16. What is it? 8%? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're just happy that to be on the air, and I appreciate people who check in. All right, 144, 240 is where we're headed. We'll see you there momentarily, and that's 144, 240 upper side band. So we'll see you there momentarily.
You doing okay, Greg?
I'm doing good, Mike. KD4 CVE. KM4 Wire. Wait for Paul.
All right, we're trying to get ahead of me, guys. That's not fair. Of course, we have any rules. You can do anything you want. This is K4 PEW of the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net here on 144 240. One of my favorite modes, upper sideband and 2 meters works so good. Who do we have from the east? Please come in.
KM4YRF.
All right, KM4YRF sound good as always on upper sideband. Of course, you're just practically across the street. That was Michael, KM4YRF. In Mount Juliet, who else is east?
KG4CXE.
KG4CXE. You got Chris over there. I don't know. I changed slightly. I'm on 144.240.02. So I don't know. You sound a little funny to me. Do I sound bad to you?
Just a hair off.
Okay, very good. I'll just leave it there. It's not that critical. It's not like we're trying to do brain surgery here. Who else? That was Chris, by the way. Kilo Go 4, Charlie X-Ray Echo in Rural Hill. Who else is south? Very good. KF4, KFQ, south. I don't think that's where I started. Was it? I actually started east, but that's okay. Yeah. That's Tony, KF4, KFQ in Smyrna. Let's stay with east. Who else is east or north?
Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, Michael in Lebanon.
Ah, very good. We got Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo, India, Papa in Lebanon. That's Michael. Who else is east or north?
KM4HA.
Hey, very good, Stan. Didn't hear you on 2 meters on FM. What happened?
What's the movie, Paul?
No big deal. Good to have you in there, Stan. That's KM4H, Hotel Quebec Echo in Lebanon. It's Stan. Who else is east or north?
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kill.
Very good. We got Frank in there. Yeah, see, Frank, you almost as close as you are, and a good signal. It almost sounds like FM. I'm sorry. It's Kilo Bravo. What is that? Frank is. Oh, don't tell me. I scribbled it and it went badly. Frank is Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. I can get that straight in my head. And he's in the northwest Montreal. Who else is north or west? Ah, very good. Good to have you in there, Larry. That's Kilo Bravo 5, Echo Charlie Victor. How are you copying? Okay, very good. Sorry I couldn't hear you though. It should be better when I get my new X700 up. All right, well, very good. That was Kilo Bravo 5, Echo Charlie Victor, and he's in, I believe it's Lyle, Tennessee. Pretty good stretch from here. Who else is north or east? Or north or east, north, or west?
KG4 ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
Very good. We got Jack with a big, strong signal. Kilo Go 4, India Lima Victor. That's another one that sounds like FM and with a good signal. Who else is north or west? We're having a big night on upper sideband. That's Kilo Delta 4, Charlie, Victor Echo, Greg, and Antioch. Who else is west? What do we have? East, north, or west? Or south? Anybody else anywhere? No sandbaggers or lollygaggers out here? All righty, we had, hold on. That's 10 of us in here on sideband on 144.240. We're going to move over to 50.135, and we'll catch you there. 50.135. So I got to make a minor change, so it may take me more than a few seconds. So I'll be there momentarily. K4P then.
Yeah, this is W.
All right, sorry for the delay. That's K4PW, Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net here on 6 meters. I had a little bit of trouble there making the antenna switch here. Who's out there from 6 meters here on 50.135? Please come now from the east. All right, KM4YRF. Well, am I sounding weak to you? Yeah, no, you seem to me. It's unusual. Well, 6 meters is 6 meters. Who else is east? Anybody else east? Is anybody copying east? I thought I heard somebody in there. All right, we're going to the north. All right, anybody east or north, please come down. I just retuned it again. Anybody east or north?
I got you there, Greg.
I heard KV4 CVE. Who else was there?
Yeah, it was a little like choppy, but I heard Paul barely, and then I heard Mike pretty clear.
All right, I got you in there. Can you hear me, Chris? I'm copying you, Frank. You copying me? Frank, you copying me? All right, how's that? K4PW. Well, I got Frank in there. Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else out there? This is K4PW looking for chip. I'm still going to have problems with the tuning here. Hold on one second. I heard Kilo Oscar for OTV. That's Joel and Joelton. Who else? Anybody want to go ahead and make a call out for me, please? Michael, can you call out for check-ins? I can hear people out there, but it's really weak for me. Yeah, very good. I got you in there, Joel, if you can hear me. It's K4PEW. Yeah, conditions aren't the greatest. This is K4PEW. If any other check-ins, please come down. I was copying Joel. I was copying Frank. I was copying Greg. I was copying Chris down at Rural Hill and KM4YRF here in Mount Juliet. Is there anybody else? I'm not copying anything at the moment. Anybody got anything? Yeah, my not doing well here with my antenna. It's not good condition. So I'm going to move right over to 223.415, or you can meet me. Well, let's go over there first. If everybody can copy me, we're going to 223.415. All righty, K4PW. I'm going to close this portion of the net.